things going on this side. Okay, so perfect. So we are going to hand it over to a co-host for the night. So to get us kicked off, 20K Executive President's Team member, Keegan Servin, are you out there?
I'm on. Hey, Heather. Hey, Brock. How's everybody doing?
Fired up.
All right. Well, good evening. Welcome everybody else to tonight's call. My name again is Keegan Servin, and I'm jumping on from Dallas, Texas, and looking at some of the chat. I think I'm glad to be in Texas right now. Here in Illinois, that is pretty ridiculous. Yeah, like I said, excited to be on tonight. It's going to be a little bit different from a lot of the team calls that we've done in the past. Our guest trainer that I'm going to bring on in just 2-3 minutes. Of course, he's going to share his journey, which is going to, I think, blow your mind at how quickly this guy was able to grow in our company. But he's really going to train tonight on how to grow your Herbalife business through a very specific segment of the population. Of course, we're talking about how to grow your business with Herbalife through this fitness world, if you will. So, just kind of looking at everybody jumping on, I make up that all 100 of us, which congratulations if you're on, because the line's capped out at 100. So you guys made it. But, everybody probably falls into one of three categories. Category one, you have a fitness professional background and you're already involved in Team Herbalife and you're looking for a few nuggets, a few tips and tricks on how to take your business, which I'm sure is already going well, and how to really just, boost that momentum even more as we go into 2019. Category two, you're probably, you could be a fitness professional, and you're just taking a look at Herbalife right now and kind of interested, could this be a solution to maybe helping some of my existing customers and clients get better results even faster? Could this be a solution to, maybe increasing some streams of income as I'm growing my personal trainer business? Or category three, you're kind of like me. You're like, I'm not a fitness professional, but I sure would like to sponsor a whole bunch of personal trainers into my business. So that's kind of where I was. And I promise you, no matter who you are, I really believe you guys are going to get some great stuff tonight. But let me share just my 2-minute journey, if you will, of how I got involved in Herbalife. In about a week, I'm going to celebrate 11 years that I've been full-time in the business. I was a college dropout. I got fired from the Olive Garden as a server. I threw change at a table that only tipped me a nickel. So I don't recommend that, but that's my claim to fame. So I found Herbalife when I was in my early 20s. And, a few things I did that were really, really successful. One, I got involved in these nutrition clubs, which if you don't know what a nutrition club is, it's kind of an Herbalife storefront where we do the shakes and teas and a lot of different community events and coach our clients. And we got these nutrition clubs going and weight loss competitions. And we started doing fitness boot camps and a lot of different things that I would say kind of timing was just right at the beginning of Herbalife catching some serious momentum. And it was incredible for me. I started full-time when I was 23. By the time I was 24, I was earning over $10,000 a month. And now it's gone into a very strong 6-figure income. And when I think about, my journey, I'm just so grateful for the guy that I'm going to bring up here in a second. And, a lot of times in this business, you start off and you're kind of growing your customer base and you're growing your team, sponsoring distributors. And a lot of times that's how the relationship starts. I'm the coach or I'm the sponsor, or I'm the, whatever. But although it started off as business partners, I can tell you after 10 years, it's become so much more than that. Today, truly a great friend of mine. And, I think that everybody on the line, if you live long enough, you'll be lucky enough to have a few people that will come into your life one day that'll really transform things for the better. And I can honestly tell you guys, that's what Kris has been for me. When he first got involved in Herbalife, I was at a level called global expansion team, and if you don't know what that means, it's a level I was earning about $5,000 a month. So I was doing okay, but it's not like I'd really exploded yet. And this guy, Kris, he was the first one that I can tell you that really saw the deal and said, man, Keegan, I want to build this thing with you. And what we can do, if we can tap into the fitness world, we can start working with trainers and we can get into this and that. And, he had that vision and of course, working together, it's just been incredible what he's been able to do from the time that he got started, with Herbalife, like signed on the dotted line, so to speak, and got involved really as a former struggling personal trainer until he became climbing up the company's ranks and became a top 1% earner in about 2.5 years, which to move to that level in 2.5 years is pretty unheard of. You know, it takes most people an average of about 13 years. So this guy, he moved incredibly quickly. He's obsessed with the products, and he really has a talent for knowing how to bring people from the fitness world in and how to get them going. And he's done an incredible job of that. This is the guy that moved to a state where he's from, back in Oklahoma, and completely opened up basically the Oklahoma market with Herbalife, and probably has, I would venture to say, about 300 Nutrition Club locations underneath him just in the state of Oklahoma. So for a number of reasons, we are really, really lucky to have him on. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce my good friend and 20K Executive President's Team member, Kris Bickerstaff, to go ahead and join us on. You on there, buddy?
What's up, Keegan? Can you hear me, man? Coming through.
I can hear you.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for the introduction. And of course, man, you guys know that's my mentor. That's my sponsor, man. One of my best friends in the whole world. So thank you, Keegan. Man, super humbled and super excited about this phone call tonight. You see, we maxed out 100 participants, which means, man, the market is hot right now. People right now are looking for an opportunity, looking for ways to maximize their income. They're looking for a way to be a part of something that's bigger than themselves, man. So it's an exciting time to be a part of Herbalife right now. But, guys, I'll start by just kind of introducing myself, telling my story, because I don't want people to think that, man, you know, what Keegan has done or what Kris has done, man, they're such good business people, or, man, they're such good personal trainers. Or, man, there are these guys that know so much, because I want to slow you down, because I was not that man. 10 years ago, guys, when I got started in Herbalife, previous to Herbalife, I was a personal trainer. You know, I grew up an athlete my whole life. Loved sports, loved the idea of pushing my body and taking my body to the peak performance level for sports. A lot of it was because, man, that was my only way out of my town, Marlow, Oklahoma, where I grew up. Grew up perfectly, had perfectly raised, you know, parents raised me perfectly. But, man, most of my life, I watched my parents struggle because of finances. You know, most of the time when mom and dad were crying, it was because of money. You know, when mom and dad were fighting, it was usually because of money. When there's stress in the family, it's usually because of money, right? When we had to move certain times because of money. You know, like I said, I was a big athlete. Dad was a great coach, but a lot of times he had to leave and be gone 2 or 3 weeks at a time. He worked on Oryx because of money. You know, and I guess I'm trying to make this point right up front because, man, I love sports, but I realized, man, at a very young age, that, man, that money wasn't everything, but when you didn't have it, it kind of became everything in my family. A lot of times where there wasn't food on the table, we couldn't do certain experiences, we could be certain sports teams, and my dad was, you know, gone for long periods of time. It was always because of money. And so at a very young age, man, I knew I wanted to get out and do something different. And while my father knew, was like, Kris, we're going to get you a sports scholarship to college, going to pay for your degree, you're going to go to college, graduate, move to the big city somewhere, and he had this idea of me getting this big corner office and not deal with the challenges that he had in his life, right? Because he just, it's not that, guys, we know that money's not everything, and money doesn't make you happy, but when you don't have it, it can make certain opportunities more challenging. It can seem to make life very difficult. And he had bigger dreams for me. And so that's what I did, guys. I excelled in sport. I was pushed really hard through sports my whole life and went to college on a football scholarship, graduated with a degree in exercise physiology, moved from Oklahoma, small town Oklahoma, to Dallas, Texas, and had these big dreams, right? And I don't know where you guys are at tonight when you come on this phone call. But for me, man, I remember graduating high school and having these big dreams, and graduating college, moving to Dallas and having these big, ginormous dreams. Ended up getting a job for Lifetime Fitness, working as a personal trainer, man. It was new, it was scary, it was crazy. The gym that I was in, man, had more people in this gym than the city I grew up in, right? And it was wild. But I was excited to take on the challenge. I was excited to learn more. I was excited to be mentored by those that were better than I was. And, man, I thought, man, going to get this job. I'm going to do everything I can to excel in it. And, man, life's just going to work out. And long story short, guys, I found myself a year later becoming one of the top salesmen for Lifetime Fitness in my personal training world, you know, just working around the clock. But man, found myself in a very dissatisfied situation because what I thought success was back then didn't match my expectations. I worked in such a high level of intensity with my sports. I took that on my career level. And, man, found myself a year in Lifetime Fitness, becoming one of the top salespeople, but completely dissatisfied with life. I found myself getting to work before the sun came up and getting home after the sun went down. Just jumping on here. So found myself getting home late at night. The more money I made, it seemed like the more money the company wanted me to make for them. They wanted me to make for them. So I found myself coming early. I was getting to work about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning to my first boot camp session. I was getting home around 10 or 11 o'clock at night. That was 5 days a week, and it turned to 6 days a week. And they started asking me to come in on a Sunday. And I tell you, man, it got very discouraging because, the longer I worked, the more I grew, the more they expected. But the hard part was, man, I had this brand new house, a brand new baby boy that I wanted to be there for, because my dad couldn't be there because of money. And I found myself married to my job, virtually where I never got to see my son wake up. I never got to tuck him into bed. I was going to spend time with him on Sundays, and I was so exhausted. I spent most of the time sleeping. And I said, man, there's got to be a different plan to this. I just looked at people that were personal trainers that were, been working at Lifetime for 10, 15, some of them 20 years. And, they were getting to the gym the same time I was in the morning. They were leaving at the same time at night that I was. They were working with the same level. And I couldn't see myself working that many hours for that long. And a lot of them didn't have something to retire on. A lot of them, I was like, man, what's the plan post-Lifetime Fitness? And most of them just didn't have a good exit strategy. One thing I knew in my life, man, I want to have a retirement plan. I want to have an exit strategy. I want to have a time where I didn't have to work so hard. And what was scary for me is as I looked at these personal trainers, man, most of them didn't have that plan. Like, man, what's your 5-year plan? Like, man, I just hope I can keep selling personal training. I was looking at these mentors of mine that were now 55 years old and 57 years old, still personal training, these long, crazy hours. And it got me kind of scared because I couldn't imagine working that hard, sacrificing that much time for the rest of my life. And so I started looking for different opportunities, and I was a personal trainer. I was good at it. So I decided to go start my own business, right? Me and a buddy, Tim Fowles, decided to start our own business. We were great at personal training, but here's the problem. We knew nothing about lawyers. We knew nothing about sales tax. We knew nothing about rent and leases. We knew nothing about, insurances and legal fees and all the different stuff, marketing that came along with personal training. So we just went for it. We started working really, really hard to start our own business. And we actually had the opportunity to start our own business, still working long, crazy hours. But like I said, it was great personal trainers, but man, I found myself in a messy situation where I started doing all the things I did love, right? I was spending hours and hours doing things that I didn't know existed when you work for a corporation. Now, it was amazing because for the first time I was working for myself, right? And there's many lessons my father taught me throughout my life. But one thing he taught me that really stuck to me is I watched my dad bust his knuckles working on oil rigs for 25 years. And after 25 years of busting his knuckles, right, him getting laid off and literally having nothing to show for it. And see, that was the scariest thing to me. Like, why would I spend my whole life building something and then not own it, then not have a piece of it, not be able to give it to my children, not be able to sell it, right? Not be able to, have a part. I want to dedicate the majority of my life to something. I want to build something that is mine. And so when I took on this personal training business, that was my idea. But I didn't realize how difficult it was. I had no mentors in. I had no idea about all these taxes, like I've already said. And man, in 2008, because of this, man, I found myself overspending on marketing. The economy kind of fell apart. People were backing out on personal training at a high level. We were getting lots of people in the door, but they're like, Kris, here's the deal, man. I just right now, I'm focused on my stock. Right now, I'm focused on my company. Right now, I'm focused on my 401ks. Right now, I got to put my money elsewhere. And it seemed like sometimes the personal trainers were the first to get cut. I lost 2 or 3 clients overnight. It seemed like my trainers were losing clients overnight. And long story short, I found myself spending more money, making less. 2008 hits, man, I'm dead broke. And it gotten so bad that, man, I was working literally. Most of the night, staying the night in the studio. I was sleeping on a little futon in the office. I was getting working all day long, but it got so bad, man, that man, I just couldn't keep up. I ended up losing 2 vehicles, getting vehicles repossessed, got a boat repossessed. The business was going under. My house was 2 months behind the mortgage. They were coming to putting letters on my door saying, hey, Kris, you don't pay your mortgage. If you can't keep your promises, we're going to take the house away from you. And I remember coming home on a Sunday afternoon. And I'll get real vulnerable with you guys right now because I want you guys to understand something. I don't know what brings this phone call tonight. Maybe you're inspired by somebody. Maybe you're a team member, or maybe you guys saw a Facebook post. You've been watching our Herbalife stories that are amazing. Maybe it was a weight loss story, a transformation story, or maybe you've seen some of the incredible lifestyles that are created inside of Herbalife. But see, mine was the other side of the coin. I was in a situation coming home from church on a Sunday afternoon where life had got so desperate. Bills were piled up. I had no idea how I was going to pay them. I was already working the max amount of hours. My business was shutting down. That they were getting ready to take my house away from me. My son had spent 80 hours in daycare that week. I didn't know how I was going to pay that bill. So coming home from church on a Sunday afternoon and really being in a situation like, man, what do I do? Being frustrated, being angry, because I thought I was doing what I had to do to get ahead. See, I was following something called the American Dream. And you guys know what it is. What's the American Dream, right? Work hard, go to college, get a degree, move to the big city, and things just work out, right? And I thought I was doing everything I was told to do to be successful. But here I was 10 years ago, sitting in my office on a Sunday afternoon, coming home after church, extremely frustrated because it just didn't seem to work out. It seemed like no matter what I did, I was just making a hamster on a hamster wheel, just never really getting ahead. It was Christmas time. I had no money for Santa Claus to come that year. I had no money left to go home and see family. So I was humbled. I was embarrassed. I was mad. I was frustrated. I was pointing my fingers at the economy. I was pointing my fingers at personal training. And man, I was burnt out. I was 26 years old. I'm like, man, how am I going to continue this? And I remember stopping and, I'll get real with you guys. We're in a private call, but I remember stopping and my TV was already shut off and I turned on a YouTube channel and saw a guy named Joe Osteen, and he said this, man. To me that night he said Kris, but he was saying in an economic recession or in a time that's challenging your life, he goes, you have one or two choices. You said you can be a victim of your circumstances and whine and complain about how rough it is, or you can be a maker of your opportunities. And he said, I can tell you this, you're going to tell your God how big your mountains are. You can tell your God about how rough it is and how challenging it is and why is it so hard for me. He said, or you can tell your God, or you can tell your mountains how big your God is. And you'll start to realize that, hey, man, look how wonderfully and fearfully you're made. Look at all that's available. Look at the opportunities we have inside the United States of America. And I remember taking that on, like, man, I want to be the kind of guy that tells my mountains how big I am, how big my God is. I mean, I'm bigger than this. And so I remember as a desperate father, as a desperate business person, as a desperate, I was in the back in the corner. I was desperate. And see, something magical happens when you become desperate. You get what I call a thorn in your butt, right? A thorn in your butt. You know what happens when you get a thorn in your butt? You don't sit down anymore. You don't worry about what's on TV. You don't worry about Friday nights. You don't worry about sleeping in. You don't worry about anything. You say, man, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And I remember starting to turn on my Craigslist and looking for job opportunities and looking anywhere I could, asking, what can I do? I have to make money. Santa Claus has to come. I mean, I'm just not going to accept this defeat, man. And if I do get defeated, man, I'm going to go out swinging. So I want my kids to know, I want my family to know that, man, I gave it everything I had. And, man, by the grace of God, I found this old email account where this lady had texted me. She said she was looking to work with personal trainers. She was what's called a nutritional coach. I had no idea what that meant, but I needed money. I was desperate. And so I gave her a call, met her at Starbucks the next day. And man, it was crazy. And I don't know where you guys are at tonight. I know some of you guys are maybe through this phone call. But she told me about this company called Herbalife. And I guess let me tell you, if you've never heard of Herbalife yet, right? And maybe some of you coaches out there talking to you about Herbalife, let me tell you, the first time you hear about it, man, it's a little odd. It's a little different. She came in and she shook me this shake up, right? She made me this shake. She made me this tea. I didn't really know what was going on. I was looking for clients. I thought she was a nutritionist. And she began to tell me about this company called Herbalife. And I'll be honest with you guys, I've been an athlete my whole life, never heard about Herbalife one time in my whole life, right? All my clients went to Ultimate Sports Nutrition. They went to GNC. They went to Vitamin Shop. And never have I heard of Herbalife ever, right? And she started telling me about the marketing plan. It really didn't make sense to me because all I knew is, man, if you want to make money, you got to work as many hours as you can. Like, trade your time for hours, right? Problem is, man, when you start having more money than you do or more bills than you do have hours, right? It gets tight, right? I already was working as many hours I felt like I could, but it wasn't enough money at the end of the month. And so, man, I didn't really know a lot about the products. I didn't know a lot about supplements this time in my life. I didn't know a lot about a multi-level marketing. I didn't know a lot about Herbalife. I didn't know a lot about this payment structure. It was different to me. And guys, the human body and the mind is designed for one thing, to survive. And so when you don't understand something, our natures go, whoa, I don't understand this, scary, no thank you, right? And some of you guys out there, if you're hearing about Herbalife for the first time ever, you're going to go, whoa, this is scary. What is this stuff? I've never heard of it. No thank you. I've heard about the horror stories, whatever it is, right? And that's where I was at. I was like, no, thank you, not for me. I'm just a personal trainer. I'm not good at sales. I'm not good at this kind of stuff. It's just, man, I'm looking for some extra money. But then she stopped, and a tear began to come to her eyes as she began to tell me her story. She told me how she had lost a significant amount of weight on the product. She talked about what had happened to her daughter. And she talked about how she's a single mom. And she was a single mom of 2 kids, living in an apartment complex, and didn't know a lot about nutrition, didn't know a lot about business, but she was working this business part-time by sharing her testimony with a few of her neighbors and how she was making an extra $500 a month. And guys, that's what got me in Herbalife, because I didn't understand products. I didn't understand supplementation. I didn't understand multi-level marketing. But when she told me she was helping a couple of people get results and she's making an extra $500 a month, that was familiar to me. I understood that. I understood that so many times people walk to my studio and want me to personal train them, but they couldn't. Kris, it's too expensive. Man, I love to work with you, but $75, $85, $95 an hour, I just can't do it. Right? A lot of times I got away from giving people nutrition plans because I'd write people these crazy, complicated nutrition plans. And quite frankly, man, people just couldn't follow them. It was expensive. It was difficult. They had changed their whole lifestyle. For years, I watched, people fail on their diet plans because it just wasn't something realistic to their time schedule. It wasn't realistic to their budget, right? People are used to eating on the go, right? They're used to drive-through windows and convenience, and man, it's got to be fast. So I got to be able to make it in 30 seconds, and I got to be able to eat on the go because I have kids and I have 20 minutes lunch breaks. And so, guys, she told me her story, man. I began to see, man, value in that. How she told me how her 12-year-old daughter was drinking the products because they taste so good. How her 12-year-old daughter was able to lose weight on the products. To me, that said, man, I knew so many kids in the marketplace that need to lose weight that just couldn't do the personal training. They just weren't able to afford it. I knew so many people out in the marketplace that were looking for something faster and cheaper and more convenient. They were looking for something that was more valuable than I had to offer. And I was watching so many people come to my studio every single day. They said, I had one plan for them. It's called personal training. And if they couldn't afford personal training, I was just like, man, I wish I could help you. Come back to me when you had the money. And so I was like, man, what if this could be something as a side thing, right? That's all I thought it was. Like, man, what if every person that came in my studio, I didn't have to just let them watch weights. Like, tell you what, you get started on a simple, basic plan, and I'll coach you for free. You just get started on the products, and I'll coach you for free. And I saw a value in this, guys. I tell you, I took off with that very first month. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea how to spell Herbalife. I ended up meeting my mentor, Keegan Servant, who brought me on tonight. He taught me some basic, simple principles, what's called strategy. And see, inside of business, guys, what you need all the time is a strategy. If somebody gives you a proper strategy, it saves you years of trial and error. And he taught me some simple, basic strategies, some things you can get with us or get with your mentor tonight, and give you some basic, simple strategies. He said, Kris, if you'll use these products, right, not just learn about them, but actually get a result, because people don't care about they don't care about what's inside the products. People don't care about your pitch. They care about your passion. They care about how you feel in these products. And he said, if you'll throw on a button like you see on tonight, right? If you throw a button back here and say, lose weight now, ask me how. And if you learn it, I'll teach you how to start talking to a few people a day. He goes, if you do these basic, simple principles, right, then lives can change for you. I'll tell you, I started these basic, simple principles 10 years ago. My very first month, I had no idea what I was doing. Just following my mentor, I was able to make an extra $1,900, save my house from being foreclosed. It was amazing. And guys, it was unbelievable because that wasn't inside of my personal training. That was excess to my personal training, right? Most of my first clients weren't even my personal training clients because honestly, I was scared. I didn't understand the products yet. So I had to run the products myself. But see, my first week, I started getting so much energy levels that people around me started asking questions like, man, what are you drinking? What are you taking? It's like, man, I'm drinking this Herbalife tea. And all of a sudden, all my clients started wanting this Herbalife tea. Like they want to sample mine at first, right? I was like, man, you got to buy your own. I wasn't really going to sell it. And they started sampling this tea and let them just try it out for their workouts. And people started getting better workouts and better energy levels. They started feeling better. Camera's going around focus. Oops. See if we can get it. There we go. Oh, sorry, guys. But they started trying the tea, and then all of a sudden, my mom called me. My mom was always trying to lose some couple pounds, right? She was always like, Kris, show me the different plan. Problem was, as a personal trainer, I couldn't go train my mom in Oklahoma while I was living in Dallas, Texas. So I said, hey, Mom, I got this program I'm trying out. It's called Herbalife, man. It's very simple. I'd love you to try it out. Run it for like a month. See how you feel. I'm trying the products, man. I've already lost like 7 pounds in my first couple of weeks. My energy level's through the roof. I'd love to send you a program. So I send my mom a program down. She gets started in the program. I start coaching her online. She loses 30 pounds her first month. Everyone that she worked with in Marlow, Oklahoma, my hometown, starts asking her what she's doing. And all of a sudden, all these people from Oklahoma started shooting me up on text messages and emails and on social media. It's like, Kris, man, what's your mom on? Give me these programs. And all of a sudden, I started myself coaching people I was never able to reach before as a personal trainer. I started reaching out to these people in Oklahoma. Then there were some people in Oklahoma that knew some people with my brother. My brother was in the military, and he was all over the place with units and bases. So I sent my brother product. He lost 15 pounds in the first couple of weeks. And all of a sudden, all of his military buddies start wanting the products. Like, hey, man, hook me up with your brother. Can you get me started in the program? And guys, my second month, it was unbelievable. My second month in business with Herbalife, I'd already matched what I was doing full-time profit with my personal training business. Now, I want to paint you a picture. My personal training business, I had 7 different certifications. I had a college degree, tons of time, my own studio, thousands, tens of thousands invested into it, right? If not more than that back then. And I was making about $2,000 or $3,000 a month, working several hours a day. I'm talking getting to work at 4 o'clock in the morning and leaving at 9 o'clock at night, right? And all of a sudden, Herbalife, just in the pockets of my day, because I got a result, my mom got a result, my brother got a result, and this girl named Shelly from Dallas, Texas comes in. Shelly was 450 pounds. She was 5'1", 450 pounds. I get started on the program like, Shelly, here, I want you to run these products. I don't know what you're doing. Right now, I know we have to control our diet because you cannot out-train a bad diet. And the hardest thing as a personal trainer was getting people to eat consistently, right? Because no matter what we do within the gym, they can't get a good result if you do not eat the proper things. 80% of our results comes down to what we put in our mouth, and now we don't. So I was giving people these complicated diet plans and expecting people to change their whole lifestyle, start doing the meal prep and the 7 egg whites, the coffee cup of oatmeal, and a little bit of flaxseed, and the fruits and the berries. Let me tell you guys, people just weren't doing it. They're just not doing it. Like, Kris, I would love to do that, but you understand. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up and I got to get 4 kids to school. See, we have 4 kids. It gets crazy around our house in the morning, right? So unless I'm going to get up super early, have all my grocery shopping done, get up early, meal prep, it's just not going to happen. See, most of my clients had 20-minute lunch breaks. Getting a healthy meal in 20 minutes is very difficult. So most of my clients are driving through a drive-through window or going to a restaurant where they could get their food in an adequate amount of time. And so normally this stuff that's fast and convenient isn't healthy for us. And so I said, here's the deal, Shelly. I'm going to get you on something simple. So that meets your lifestyle. Here's what I want you to do. Get up in the morning and try one of these Herbalife shakes and teas and tablets. Just drink the shake and tea. Just do it for 2 weeks, right? And then for lunch, I want you to eat a reasonable snack. And then between breakfast and lunch, I want you to a reasonable snack. And then I want you a shake and tea for lunch, then a reasonable snack, and then a big, colorful, healthy dinner. And that's all I did with Shelly. I said, get started where you can, and let's just try it for 2 weeks. Right? Well, Shelly gets home. She tries it for the first week. We do an assessment. She comes back a week later. She was 17 pounds in her first week. And I tell you guys, as the tears came on her face and Shelly gave me this big, huge hug, it just made me like, man, maybe there's something here. I found something so simple, something so easy, something so tasteful, something that people could actually stick to that met their lifestyle. And I started to realize that most of the time as a trainer, I was taking people from like a complete crawl in their nutrition to a complete sprint. Like get them away from like that fast food lifestyle and saying, hey, let's go to this meal prep lifestyle. And most of them just weren't able to make that transition because there was such a lifestyle change, right? They weren't used to shopping every 3 days. They weren't into meal prepping their food. It was just unrealistic. And so I watched for years clients fail. But when I gave them something like Herbalife that was simple, would taste great, that got results, I was able to coach them. It was amazing. So it was the 17 pounds her first week. And man, I get excited. I tell you, I didn't know what this Herbalife thing was going to be, but when I saw what happened to my mom, and I saw what happened to Shelly, and I saw what happened to my brother, it was just unbelievable. I was feeling better. Everyone's feeling better. All of a sudden, my business, without even looking for business, started blowing up. Guys, 3 months into the business, I was making over $3,000 a month. And I really didn't know everything about it. I got plugged into our schools with Herbalife, and things went crazy, right? And I started working with the team, and I met a mentor of mine named Dan Waldron, and he said, let me tell you about this company called Herbalife, Kris. And I'm telling you, I didn't look at it as a full-time business. It was just going to be a side gig to my personal training business to get me through the bad months. But I met Dan Waldron and said, let me tell you about this company called Herbalife. You guys are on this phone call tonight and you're looking into this company for the first time. Let me tell you about this company called Herbalife. Right now, if you look at our stock, we closed out with $7.7 billion last year in sales. What's that mean? That means we're the #1 nutritional supplement company in the world. And guys, we're not just any regular supplement company. We're not stuff you're trying to find on a GNC shelf. This is a human-based company. This is a company based on results. This is a company where you just don't go and get a beep transaction. You don't go in somewhere and say, here, buy this, right? You get an actual coach attached to it. Someone's going to go through it with you, because let me tell you, people don't like to go through it alone. People don't like to lose weight alone. It's a scary place to try another thing and fail. Right? So people are getting a diet plan. They're getting a meal plan. And guys, this company right now, because of our strategy, because of how well our products work, because we have something called Seed to Feed Initiative. Guys, right now, the top doctors in the world, what's $7.7 billion mean? It means our company's able to afford the best of the best. We don't skip around with our products. We have the absolute best in supplementation. Our doctors are some people like Dr. Louis Anaro, the guy who invented nitrogen oxide, right? The guy who designed David Heber. He was a guy who designed the Food Guide Pyramid. To kind of give you an idea, right? The top athletes in the world, the #1 athlete in the world, actually has a product on our Herbalife 24 line. CR7, Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Loves our product line. Operating right now in over 97 countries, right? So what that means for you and I, it just means, it just means credibility, right? It means this company is absolutely the best. They have the money and the resource to create the best products in the world. But the cool part about it is you can do it on your own. Like, you don't have to have your own supplement store. You want to open a GNC, I was looking at this the other day, it's almost $350,000 to open your own store, right? And it takes a full-time commitment. It takes at least a long time. With Herbalife, you can start very, very part-time, and that's all I did, guys. I got excited about the products. I got excited about the results I was getting. And guys, within 6 months of doing this business, plugging their systems, plugging their strategies, taking their products, getting results, let my clients get results, right? Them sharing it with people around them. Within 6 months, I was already making well over what I ever had made as a personal trainer. Still doing it part-time. Within a year, this dang chair's gonna wear me out. Within a year, guys, within a year in this business, guys, I was doubling what I was making as a personal trainer, still doing it part-time. So I was doing a full-time personal training, own my own studio, own my own business, working up like part-time, making double my part-time as I was in my full-time business as a personal trainer. Within 2 years, guys, I went to a heavy 6-figure part-time in my Herbalife business. But guys, it wasn't just about the money. Guys, it was about the accountability. It was about the friendships we were building. It was about the business. It was about the influence we were making. It was about the difference we were making in people's lives. And so I want to not just go on train. So guys, I want to talk to you tonight really about the story and how we did that. You know, Herbalife is a very simple plan, and that's why it worked for me. Right? Today, guys, I tell you, we've been able to hit like top 1% of the company. You know, we travel 6, 7, 8, 10 times a year with this company. I built this business completely around my family, my wife, Tori, and myself. We have 4 kids. We still train tons of people. We do it all online. Everyone takes the products, man. Life today is unbelievable. We live in the house of our dreams. We drive the vehicles of our dreams. And guys, it's been unbelievable. But really I want to spend some time with you guys doing some serious training with you guys over, you know, how do you grow so fast? You can ask me a couple things to share. But, you know, one thing, guys, you're out there looking for a business. I want to do some training now. I just want to tell my story. But one thing, guys, if you're out there looking to grow, you're like business personal trainer. People say all the time, like, you know, how do you go from dead broke personal trainer to successful, you know, making heavy 6 figures within a couple years, right? And I tell you, for me, guys, is because sorry, guys. For me, guys, it was simple. It's just the opportunity. See, for me in my life, I never had the opportunity come forward to me like something like Herbalife gave me, right? I already knew a ton of people, you know, that were personal trainers that were just like me. And if you're a fitness person out there, you don't have to look real hard to find a personal trainer that's struggling, right? Most personal trainers there's so many of them right now. You know, I live in Oklahoma City. I know tons and tons of trainers that are broke, that are struggling every single day. And so I was looking at a lot of my friends that were in the personal training world that were just struggling. You know, my first downline member was Tim Files. He was a personal trainer. He was one of the best trainers I knew, but he was living on a friend's couch because, man, times were tough. He was having his clients give him a ride to work every single day. And so the first thing I started doing as a trainer, I was like, man, when I started setting up that first $1,900, when I started making that first amount of money, and as I started walking to my studios with like bags full of products and clients were giving me cash, man, my friends began to notice. And for me, first people I wanted to work with is like when I started building this business, like if I'm going to build this business, I want to build it with the people I love, right? And so I started reaching out to a few people of mine. And guys, I tell you, I built this whole business today. And let me tell you this, we have close to 30,000 people on our team. I think Keegan has even more of that. But that sounds massive. But really, I did it for working with a few of my best friends. You know, my best friend in the whole world, Tim Files, college roommate, right? Called him and say, hey, man, I'm starting this Herbalife business. I know you're a personal trainer right now. Right? And let me tell you this, man. You're sending most of your people to GNC. You're sending most of your people to Vitamin Shop, right? How much money is GNC and Vitamin Shop paying you? And he's like, nothing. You know, I remember sending all my people right now to a place called Ultimate Sports Nutrition in Dallas, Texas. And I would go there and I would send thousands of dollars referral to them every single month. And they give me a 5% referral fee, right? 5% referral fee is what I got for sending thousands of dollars referrals a month. So to me as a personal trainer, I was like, man, if I could keep that in-house, how great would that be? What if instead of sending $1,000 over to Brad at Ultimate Sports Nutrition, I just keep that in-house? See, if nothing else was different, even though the products were exactly the same, it just made financial sense to keep it in-house, right? It was stupid to send thousands of clients. Clients were coming to me for results, and they wanted results. They said, Kris, and I'm using all my skill, all my knowledge, all my power to get them on something, and I'm sending them over here because, man, Brad Baca over at Ultimate Sports Nutrition wasn't sending me a paycheck. And when I saw Herbalife, the first thing I noticed was they gave back 73 cents on the dollar. I want you to realize what that is, guys. That's 40% higher than most any multi-level marketing company. Just for recommending the products. Because I got up to 50% just in retail. Just in retail. Just by switching my people from a Ultimate Sports or a GNC supplement to an Herbalife, that dramatically changed my life. Because now not only was I getting a better profit from getting my clients I'm proud to say I already wanted, right? But I was also able to get them something I trusted and that was coachable. See, by Herbalife, man, I knew that I knew the product so well. I took the products every single. I knew exactly what they're going to buy, so it was coachable, and the guys trusted me. The coolest part, though, was that most of my clients that got results tend to share that result with people around them. Challenge was that most of my clients, the people that saw the result, weren't local enough to come in and personal train with me. Right? A lot of these people had moms. Like, I get my client results like, hey, man, my mom's really saw my results. Can you help her out? Promise she lives in Tennessee. Right? I told you to do it with my mom. Hey, mom sees she knows I'm a personal trainer, but she lives in Oklahoma. How do I help them out? Right? So by having this Herbalife system added to my personal training, it opened me up to a whole new marketplace. See, not everyone was going to personal train every single day, but a ton of them were eating breakfast every single day. Everyone's looking for results. And we already said 80% comes down to what you put in your mouth and what you don't. And see, most of my trainer buddies, they were all marketing against each other for that 5% of people that could actually afford personal training. Right? I mean, that's crazy. 5% of people could actually afford personal training were the ones getting marketed to. See, when I got involved in Herbalife, it opened up to a whole new level where I got to market myself to 95%. That if you could afford a healthy breakfast, if you could afford breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then you could afford to be my client. Right? That I wasn't going to go, hey, buy this personal trainer on the other side of it, right? But I was going to say, hey, man, you can 100% of them, yeah, like you said, 100% of them eat food, right? That you didn't have to go and spend something extra because when you came in and buy personal training, you had to like buy personal training on top of your other expenses. With Herbalife, it was so simple. It was just replacing. Like, what do you already spend on breakfast? What do you already spend on lunch? What do you already spend on dinner? Right? We're just going to replace a couple of those costs and I'll coach you for free because Herbalife took care of me. And guys, it was such a simple process that when I made that first money, guys, I didn't even know what I was doing. I couldn't even spell Herbalife. But because I got great results, my clients were getting results, I started putting that money in my pocket and I started sharing it with people. And they had these things called success training seminars. We started plugging in their schools. And guys, I've never missed a school. And it was unbelievable. Right? And so guys, it's a real simple process. I don't want to complicate it. But let me tell you when people say, how do you grow fast? And I let people love the story. Man, how do you go from 0 to 6 figures part-time as a personal trainer that fast? And let me tell you how I did it. I had great coaches, and I didn't trade anything. I didn't change the system. There's a couple of things I did every single day. I took my products perfectly every single time of the day, right? 3 times a day. What I was told is that, Kris, if you want to be a president team member, if you want to make a serious 6 figures, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you guys something tonight. And I want to give you something of value. If you want to be at a 6 figures, say, Kris, I love your story. How do I do that? Let me tell you this. Don't tell me you want to make 6 figures a month and you don't love the products and take them perfectly every single day. Because people don't want your pitch. They want your passion. See, tell me about that, Kris, that you don't have to, they said, Kris, you got to use the product. They said, Kris, you got to wear the button every single day. And so they didn't say just wear the button. So you got to wear a button every single day and wear it well. So when they say, Kris, don't tell me you want to make 6 figures. Don't tell me you want to be in the president's team. You're not willing to wear your button every single day. Right? Don't tell me you want president's team member. They said, don't tell me you want to make a serious 6 figures and you're not willing to talk to at least 10 people every single day. Right? They said, don't tell me you want press team, right? And you're not waking up early and on a schedule and working on a 90-day plan every single day. Don't tell me you want to make the press team. Don't tell me you want to make 6 figures and don't do your flyers every single day. Don't talk to 10 people every single day. Don't wake up early and do your personal development every single day. See, it was very basic stuff. They said, don't tell me you want to make 6 figures and there's a school coming up. Like this next month, we're teaching a school in Boston, and then we have a nutrition club training. We have STSs. They said, don't tell me you want president's team, Kris, and you're not willing to go to every single school that Herbalife offers. So when people say, Kris, how do you grow so fast? It was nothing crazy what we did. We just dedicated a plan that for 3 years of my life, it didn't matter what it took. I was willing to do whatever it takes. For 3 years of my life, it didn't matter how much I slept. It didn't matter about parties. It didn't matter about friends. It didn't matter about anything. It's like whatever they told me to do in Herbalife, I didn't question it. I didn't argue it. I just did exactly what they told me to do. You know, for example, when Dan told me to go to my first school in San Antonio, Texas, right? 10 years ago, Dan told me to go to my first school. I remember he said, Kris, you got to go to San Antonio, Texas. I was like, Dan, I don't have the money to go. And he looked at me and goes, that's why you have to go. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, Kris, if you want to change your life, you cannot change your life by doing the same exact things you were doing your whole life. You got to change. You got to go and you got to get the education. You got to get the strategies. You got to get the psychology. I learned that Herbalife was caught than taught. And he said, go do these basic, simple things, right? That things will change for you. He goes, if you want things to change, you have to change. If you want things to get better, you have to get better. And see, what's so great about Herbalife? It's just like a personal training program, guys. If you walk in and you want to train with me today, we're going to get you on a basic, simple diet plan. We're going to get you on a basic, simple fitness plan based around the results you're looking to achieve. And see, Herbalife was the same as that thing. It was just a strategy. It was just a structure that if you do step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, right, you're going to have success. And that was so amazing to me because no one in the personal training world ever put mentors in front of me and said, Kris, let me show you how to be successful. See, everyone in the personal training world always trying to compete with me. See, automatically when I became an Herbalife member, all my competition now became my business. All my fellow personal trainers were now doing Herbalife with me, and now they were my business. We were growing together and not apart. So here's the thing, guys. When I started getting focused on just the basic, simple things, I just maximized the results. But it's the same thing. A lot of you guys say, Kris, I want to be press team in 2 years. Wonderful. That's great. But if you come in the gym tomorrow and say, Kris, I want to lose 35 pounds in 1 month, that's going to be a lot of a different strategy and work ethic than you say, Kris, I want to lose 35 pounds in 6 months. See, a lot of people come into Herbalife, they go, Kris, I want to grow fast. I want to make money fast. Wonderful. You can, you absolutely. If it's possible for one, it's possible for many. But here's the thing. If you want to lose 35 pounds in a month, there's going to be a lot more pain involved. There's going to be a lot more sacrifice going to be involved. There's going to be a lot more work involved. There's going to be a lot more blood, sweat, and tears involved. There's not going to be as much time for slacking off and cheat meals and messing up because we got to lose 35 pounds in 4 weeks. We're on a limited schedule. And see, some of you guys on this phone call like, man, I want to grow fast. Well, how do I grow fast like you? How do I grow fast like Tim? Well, here's the deal. You got to become dedicated. You got to become obsessed. You got to give it everything you have for 3 years. There's no getting to the press team in 3 years with a lollygag plan. It's called everything in. It's called all in commitment. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't have to do that. You have to get the best results always. And not what you did a year ago. What's your best result now? You constantly got to be getting a better result because that's the only thing that's going to give you the energy and the motion and the passion to move forward. You got to wear your button. You got to wear it well. What do I mean? I don't mean you have to have a six-pack. I mean you have to feel good about what you take. You have to feel good about the company. You have to have a strong why for your life. Like, why are you doing it? You have to have a strong purpose, right? When you wear this button, you have to be proud of what you represent. You have to talk to people every single day about your company. Guys, this is a network, and your net worth is your network inside this company. And you got to be willing to get uncomfortable and meet people and talk to new people and love on people and help people out every single day. Every day, Kris? Yes, every day if you want to grow fast. And here's the other. You can't just go to the meetings. You got to work harder on yourself than you do on the business. What's that mean? That means you have to go to every single event. You can't just go fill a chair. You got to show up early and say, hey, how can I help out? How can I volunteer? I don't want to go to the meeting. I want to be a part of the meeting. Where can I start? I'm telling you, since our first event, we're volunteering, setting up chairs. Does it matter? Absolutely. Absolutely it does. There's a different psychology when you're running the meeting or helping out with the meeting than you're showing up and filling the chairs. You get to meet the people. You got to get a better circle of influence, right? And here's the thing. You got to do another thing. It's called high personal volume. You got to learn to do high personal volume every single month, which means you have to do as much as sales as you possibly can. You have to know, right? See, if you want to grow fast, you have to learn how to do high personal volume. Learn how to do 10,000 volume points a month. Well, Kris, I can't do that. Absolutely you can, because I've watched several people do it. It's just a mindset. It's just a work ethic. If you had I'll do whatever it takes attitude, you'll figure it out. See, most of us just aren't serious enough. We're just not committed enough. It's easier to make excuses than to make those disciplines and sacrifices. See, it's my strong belief that anyone can do high personal volume if they take enough products and they follow the plan and they're consistent with their daily plans and their daily actions. Problem is we want to talk about doing high personal volume. We want to say how great it would be to qualify for everything, right? But we really don't do the work. See, then my guy will say, Kris, I want to do high personal volume this morning. Then I call him in the morning at 5:30 and tomorrow morning, and man, he's sleeping in. I look at him on Friday night, and he's hanging out all night, and he ain't working on Saturday because he's hungover. See, it's a very simple plan that is consistent and persistent daily action that gets you where you want to go. So you got to qualify for everything. You understand? You got to have an athletic mindset. And what I mean by that, guys, when I say you got to give all in, guys, you will get out of this company what you put into it. Right? And if you want to grow fast, if you're a personal trainer, guys, this company's wide open. We're in a better market today than we ever have been. A lot of people say, Kris, if I would have got started 10 years ago, right? And I can say the same. Well, if I would have started when Keegan started, and Keegan say, well, if I would have got started when Dan got started. Let me tell you, we just came back from an event in Las Vegas where, man, we're in the best time ever to be a part of Herbalife. The absolute best. There's never been a better time than now to be a part of Herbalife. It's the simplest, it's the most effective time for you to grow faster than ever. Honestly, guys, we have enough money to retire. We're set up financially forever. My kids are taken care of. But my wife and I are opening a new nutrition club next month. Because, man, I see what's possible in this company right now. It's been wonderful where we're at. But it's not about the money. Because if it's about the money, guys, I would have quit a long time ago. Keegan wouldn't be on a phone call tonight. Right? He's living well. If you haven't watched his lifestyle, he's living well. But the key is, man, there's more purpose. There's more impact to make. Right now, there's a fast food restaurant open on every corner across America. Right now, there's currently in America more obese people than there are starving people. So people just don't need, guys, we're talking about opportunity. Let me tell you, Herbalife, guys, there needs to be an Herbalife Nutrition Club on every corner, just like there is a Mickey D's or a Subway or a Burger King. We can make an impact, guys. Right now, we have the best time ever, not just go out and make money, but to make a difference. Not to have a job that we're looking for to retire, but have a purpose, be a part of something bigger than yourself. See, guys, why I'm excited about Herbalife today, guys, it's not the money. But it's, man, that every dollar I made, because I followed a simple structure, that I got the right strategy. I've already said use, wear, talk, go to events, work harder yourself than you do on the business. Right? It's a simple strategy. But the other part, guys, you've got to have a psychology. You got to have the mindset. And the only way you're going to get the mindset to get ahead is, man, you got to get around Herbalife people. You got to get around a Keegan service. Right? You got to get around your upline. You got to get around people that can really help you grow inside this business. You got to get plugged in the bench. You got to get around movers and shakers that are growing. You got to get around people that get you serious about, man, where your life can go. You got to get a strong, compelling vision for your life. And that only happens inside of our Herbalife culture. That's the only place it ever happened for me. And lastly, guys, I'll close with this. I don't want my time. You got to, there's a thing. You got to have a strong strategy. You got to have a strong psychology. And lastly, guys, you got to have something called grace. And guys, grace, call it luck, whatever you want to call it. Let me tell you this. You get grace in your life. You get rewarded for doing things that makes a difference. Hey, guys, what I love about Herbalife, because every day I go out, man, when I go to these events, I get people and trainers hugging me, thanking me. I get clients with tears in their eyes talking about how it changed their life and how it changed their kids' life. We're part of Team Pretty Fit, Team Strong, our nutrition club, that an atmosphere, a culture, people that change their life, and they're so thankful. At the end of the day, man, you can't take it with you when you go. Doesn't matter what you have, it only matters what you gave. And guys, the more you give, the more grace you will receive, the more fulfillment you'll see, the more jacked up you'll be about your life. And guys, for the last 10 years, man, that's all I've been doing. A basic, simple model. And guys, I'm telling you guys, if I took you who I was before Herbalife, man, failing personal trainer, had no idea what I was doing, no leadership, no influence, no confidence, couldn't speak like this. I still get nervous doing this. But guys, put Herbalife in the picture. They gave me a strategy. They gave me leadership. They gave me friendship. They gave me a better circle of influence. They helped me get in the best shape of my life. They put me in a school that helped me change my mindset. And as I change my mindset, your life will change. Guys, let me tell you, it's no secret. I'm not great. But today, guys, are going to live in a lifestyle that's just getting started, man. Serious six figures, traveling, big houses, nice cars, yachts, boats, the whole thing. As a personal trainer, I make more in a month than I did in a year as a personal trainer now. More in a month. And I help out more people than I could ever imagine. Guys, but none of that would be possible without Herbalife. So, man, Keegan, I'm sorry if I went too long, man. I just realized the time. I get excited. But, man, I'm jacked up, man. I love you guys. I tell you, man, if it's possible, one is possible. Here's what my hope is, man. Let's go to work, man. Quit trying to figure it out. You know, the worst mistake I ever made in Herbalife is I try to figure it out. Guys, there's nothing to figure it out. It's just W-O-R-K. That big scary word. If you just get yourself out of the way, quit thinking about you, get in a state of gratitude. I don't have to do any of this. You don't have to take the products. You don't have to talk to people. You don't have to wear a button. You don't have to go to a meeting, but you get to. I get to take these wonderful products every single day. I get to go to Amazing STS and be around people. I get to be a part of a Monday night phone call, leadership that takes care of me. I get to go out and chase my dreams by fighting for others. Guys, there's no opportunity in the world that gives you the opportunity to get to. And when you get I out of the way, me out of the way, and you go to get, don't worry about me. I'm not out here to make my life better. I'm out to help other people make their life better. When you get you out of the way, man, life dramatically changes. Sorry for that, man. I guess I'll bring on him. I'll bring on Heather. So that's all I got, man. Unless you guys got anything else for me. So.
Awesome, you guys. So in the chat group, like, let's really, I know this is like, it's not a corporate call. So let's just kind of put one or two things in the chat group that you took away from Kris. Okay, like what are you going to implement starting tonight, tomorrow? So put that in the chat as we close. So you guys, Heather Stickler, Brock Stickler, we're super excited that we got to host this tonight. Took away so many nuggets, but first of all, thank you so much, Keegan, for helping us put this together. You guys, who do you know that's dissatisfied? If you really think about like how Kris started his story, he was completely done with his circumstances. So he needed something in his life to help him financially, spiritually, everything. Who do you know that needs that? Who is coming into your nutrition club that you can have a conversation with across the bar? Do you know your people coming in? Are we being intentional with our conversations? Like we just had a guy, you guys, like listen to this, it's an amazing story. We just had a guy come in like 3 months ago. We opened up a brand new nutrition club. He came in and sat at the nutrition club bar every single day. Assistant manager at the gym, lead personal trainer. He kept telling us how much like he was dissatisfied. He just got into the business this month and has almost done $5,000 worth of Herbalife business, you guys. He's at 5,000 volume points. Like, it's crazy. Kris, so I know your story hit home with so many people tonight. Thank you so much. Guys, what are people's dreams and goals? Do you know people's dreams and goals? Like, are you getting their pressure points? That's what Brock and I were talking about. Do you know what's going to make people tick? Because everything that we have in Herbalife, whether it's products, business opportunity, we can provide that to people. And I know, Kris, you wanted to add something, right?
No, if you guys, and honestly, I'm on here as long as you guys want to be on here, but if you guys have Q&A or questions, I know a lot of you guys get off the phone call, but I'm willing to stay on and answer any questions you guys want to ask, any kind of questions too. So I know I get excited. The phone call went fast, but man, I'm excited right now. So if anyone has any questions for me, you know, I'm willing to stay on and work, man. I love this company. I love what I do, man. I'm excited right now. So
yeah, awesome. And you guys, one thing that we had some people messaging about was supervisor tags. So you guys, not only is it one person that you can get into the Herbalife business, but who does that person know in their circle of influence that needs the Herbalife opportunity? Like, we can move so much faster if we get people into action with other people working with them. So write supervisor tags in the chat group. If you're brand new on the call, like maybe you're on here tonight because this is like something that you're looking into, I want you to put a 1 if this is your very first Herbalife conference call. So drop a 1 in the comments. If you're not like a distributor yet, if you're just checking us out, maybe this is something that you're checking out with your husband or spouse. Okay, whatever it is, your goals can be matched with Herbalife. So welcome, Eli, okay? So there's a couple people on here, you guys, that are brand new. Welcome, Will. Okay, a lot of you may be in the fitness background or in personal training background. And just know that whatever your goals are, what your dreams are, you can complete them and really just level up your life with the Herbalife opportunity. Yeah, Brian, for sure. Welcome. So before we hop off here, does anybody have any questions? Anything, you can throw them in the chat group before we hop off. Or Keegan, did you want to add anything before we close? All good? All right, you guys, if you do not have your ticket for the Nutrition Club training in February in 3 weeks, like Kris said, get around the people that are going somewhere. If you feel like your life needs to go somewhere, you got to get around the 5-10 people who are changing their life. And I'm telling you, at this Nutrition Club training for us 12 months ago, it drastically changed the course of our Herbalife business and our life forever. So the smartest thing that you can ever do is get into that room. So we can't wait to see all 98 of you, 99 of you there. Kris, we can't wait to see you in February. Keegan, we'll see you guys soon. Let's unmute and we can all say thanks. And there we go.
Thank you so much.
Kris. Bye, you guys.
Thank you. Let's go to work.